My ex-wife cheated with my golden child brother and had his baby, so when my family begged for money after my promotion, I left them standing in the rain. I got divorced 2 months ago after discovering my wife had been cheating with my estranged brother. She'd been lying about the pregnancy for months, telling me the baby was mine until I finally checked her phone and found texts proving it was his. My family and I hadn't spoken since I left home at 18. They'd always treated me like an outsider while my brother was the golden child. When I got my college acceptance letter, they threw him a party instead because they didn't want him to feel left out. That day, I decided never to come back, and I stuck to it. Years passed. I paid my way through college with loans and work, rented a tiny apartment, built a comfortable life. 2 years ago, my brother reached out online asking if I wanted to reconnect since our parents really missed me. I'd never moved on from what happened, so I agreed to meet them. It was awkward initially, but they seemed to be making an effort, so I invited them to my home. That was my first mistake, introducing my brother to my ex-wife. They met, started an affair, and she got pregnant. I was thrilled thinking the baby was mine, but then my brother started visiting more often, touching her pregnant stomach and speaking into it. 6 months into the pregnancy, I went through her phone while she slept and confirmed everything I was terrified of. The text proved it was his baby, and they'd been together for a while. Not only that, my ex had no intention of telling me the truth. She and my brother planned to reveal the affair after the baby was born. Then she'd divorce me and live off child support payments while being with him. The next morning, I confronted her. She tried denying it, but eventually confessed. That ended my marriage of 2 years. My parents sided with my brother and ex-wife. All their words about us being equally important were just lies. When my ex and brother announced their relationship on social media, my entire family was supportive. Nobody cared that they'd ruined my mental health and broken my trust. My parents told me this was for the best, and I should be happy my ex and brother had found happiness. Once again, I cut them out of my life. This messed up my divorce too. My ex walked away with a huge settlement in my car because my family was on her side. She and her lawyer claimed I was toxic and controlling, that I'd forced her to quit her job. My family reinforced it by saying they'd cut me off originally because of my misogynistic attitude. The evidence was stacked against me and I lost a lot of money, but thankfully kept the house. When the divorce was finalized, I was just glad to be done with these people. I drowned myself in work and pushed to be better so I could move on. That paid off when I got promoted 2 weeks ago. Better position, better salary, better company car. I treated myself to solo dinner at my favorite restaurant, but made the mistake of posting about it online. Within days, my mother contacted me asking to visit. I managed to ignore it for a few days, but then she started calling relentlessly and eventually showed up at my office, refusing to leave and fighting with the receptionist. I promised to visit just to get her to leave. A couple days later, I finally visited. They'd used the settlement to move into a bigger house to accommodate the baby, who'd been born just over 3 weeks ago. My brother wasn't home and my ex was asleep, so just my parents spoke to me. After 5 minutes of silence, my father blurted out that my brother had been fired and the alimony and settlement weren't cutting it anymore. They'd seen my promotion post and hoped I could help since they were running low on money. My parents were retired, my brother was unemployed, my ex obviously wasn't working, and the alimony wasn't enough for a family of 5 with a newborn. I was shocked they had the audacity to approach me after everything. I simply got up and left without a word. When I reached the door, I found my brother standing outside in the rain. My parents were telling me to stay and hear them out. This is where I might have been harsh. My parents and brother came after me while I was looking for my keys in the heavy rain. They decided to ask for help one last time, with my brother making the plea. He's always been smug and arrogant, so it was weird seeing him ask for help. I sort of lost my cool and told them to leave me alone, that they could beg on the streets if they were really that desperate for cash since a stranger was more likely to take pity than I was. I got in my car and drove away, leaving them in the rain. It was pretty satisfying after they'd mistreated me my whole life. It's been 2 days and my mother has been texting nonstop. I feel guilty for not helping since I have a lot, and sending money wouldn't actually hurt me, but after everything it feels like I'm being used. My brother showed up a few days later telling me that while he felt sorry for my childhood treatment, he couldn't help that he was inherently better than me, which is why he was treated better. He said I should stop being weird with our parents and just help them instead of holding grudges like a child. I laughed in his face at how demented he sounded. I told him instead of trying to manipulate me, he should probably be out looking for a job. That touched a nerve and he started yelling about how I was jealous that our parents and even my ex-wife preferred him, that I was taking revenge by refusing to give money. I agreed with him, saying that's exactly what I was doing and there wasn't much he could do about it. He got pissed and told me he was going to come after me and force me to cough up the money. I'm not taking any of that seriously. He can try to scare me, but he's not capable of doing anything. My ex even tried calling, sobbing about being the bigger person, and reminding me our parents paid for everything growing up. I told her I was already spending unnecessary money on alimony she didn't deserve since she'd cheated. When I refused to help, she threatened to demand higher alimony and drag me to court again. This time I'm ready to fight and teach my family the lesson of a lifetime.